everybody.
Well, hello there, fish.
Welcome back to my channel, fatfunkyfresh. Hope here, and it's time for another episode of Ticked Off Tuesday.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
The day in which we bitch to one another about what ticks us the fuck off.
Fantastic. My specialty.
So, this episode is going to be about girls being included in stereotypically masculine things, and particularly geek culture.
Alright, fish, what do you gotta say?
So, I don't know about you girls, but I feel like not all, I do want to be very, very clear, not all guys make me feel this way, but many guys make me feel that if I try to, share an interest with them or something, such as video games, for instance, that I have to, go through a set of, flaming hoops to prove to them that I really like what I say I like. This stereotypically masculine thing.
Would you like to know why, fish? Because they want to make sure you are there to talk about video games and not talk about your fucking vagina.
Oh, tons of guys have done this to me throughout my entire life. I mean, I can think back to when I was, in 8th grade.
Cue anecdote.
One of my friends basically telling me that I wasn't a true fan of several classic rock bands because I didn't know when all the band members were born.
I'm sure this actually happened, but go on.
Really? Can you name... Okay, think of your favorite artist right now. Absolute favorite. Do you know when they were born? Do you? Do you know where they were born? Does that really matter? Does it really hinder, does not knowing that hinder your ability to like their music and their, whatever art they make? No. So, I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about this because it really grinds my gears. I feel like women are not given equal opportunity to like a lot of things, to enjoy many hobbies, particularly classic rock, hard rock, those kind of, or metal, those kinds of musics that are stereotypically manly. I don't really understand why, but whatever.
Oh, well, that's easy. I can answer that for you. Because it was dominated by men before narcissistic, entitled, and domineering fish came along and demanded it be about them rather than the activity.
Certain television shows, certain movies, video games as a whole, I have found out that lots of guys think that girls lie about what they like to get guys to like them.
Because it has a degree of truth behind it. Listen, fish, I've been in video games my entire fucking life. And in the late 80s and early 90s, the overwhelming majority of gamers were boys. Not once in that entire period of my life did I meet a girl who played a video game. Not fucking once. It was a niche hobby that was almost exclusively played by boys. And you know what would happen if I talked to a woman about video games at that time? Her eyes would glaze over and waking sleep would set in. This remained until I was an adult. And you know what happens now, fish? Narcissistic little fish tell me how awful women have it. Fuck you! This is a man's space. You have the rest of the world to go be a narcissistic fish in. Go ruin someone else's hobby. I want my hobby to be about my hobby, not your feelings.
And I find that absolutely ridiculous because, like I said, I have so many memories of guys making me jump through hoops to prove that I'm a true fan.
Oh, how awful! People expect you to know what the fuck you are talking about. Jesus, call the fucking press. Gamers want to talk to other gamers about the fucking games. You are here talking about your vagina. If you come to me and start talking about video games and it becomes clear you do not know what you're talking about, I'm going to tell you to fuck off. Guess what, fish? I would do the same to a guy. Because guess what, fish? There are men who don't know what the fuck they're talking about either.
Of this, Lots of people don't believe I'm a true fan of Doctor Who because I am not current with the season that's right, that was either just aired or is airing right now.
I have an itching feeling this came down to them wanting to talk about the current season, and you being a season or two behind were not privy to the information they wanted to discuss. And you, narcissistic little fish, got your tits in a wrench because they likely and rightfully blew you off.
I don't even fucking know. I don't watch live TV that often. The only thing I care about on live TV is RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay? That's the only thing I care about. Everything else I watch is on Netflix. So I just watch it as I want to go at my own pace. I'm still on David Tennant's season of the, revived version of Doctor Who. But I don't think that makes me any less of a fan.
Fucking casual.
I've watched several seasons now. I know that I like it. I know that I enjoy it. I can talk to you about what I have watched. But a lot of guys will be like, well, you haven't watched the entire thing. How do you know that you like it? I don't understand how you like it. I mean, you haven't watched the entire thing. You only have 2 doctors to pick out of. Like, who's your favorite doctor? You can only answer, this one or that one. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? I can still like something, even if I'm not super fan of the world like you, freaking jerking off over it because you're so excited. Doctor Who. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
There is a fucking difference between merely liking something and being an enthusiast. For example, I like looking at shit through my telescope and discussing astronomy. However, I would not dare try to equate myself with a professional astronomer or someone who clearly is more exuberant about astronomy than I am. I would shut the fuck up and listen, and perhaps learn something. I certainly would not make a narcissistic video demanding professional astronomers to listen to my feelings on not being as hardcore as they are.
Are you kidding me? And then, I feel like so many guys, especially, on dating sites or when I'm going out on a first date with a guy, they will quiz me and shit over this, and I'm just like, are you trying to impress me? Because you're not impressing me. You're making me feel like, I don't know, I'm in some weird fucking popular cultural elementary school or something.
You know what this quizzing is about, Fish? It's about ascertaining how much you know about a subject. How the fuck are we supposed to know if we don't ask? We ain't a bunch of Professor Xaviers here that can just read your goddamn mind. What would you rather have, Fish? Not ask you questions? Not discuss shit with you? Here's the deal, Fish. You're entering the dominion of men. And in the dominion of men, competition rules the fucking roost. Knowing more or being a larger fan is part and parcel to competition. If you can't handle it, Fish, then maybe you need to fuck off.
And I'm having to take a fucking oral exam. Are you kidding me? So dumb. They often will quiz you and well, you don't know this very detailed, specific fact. Thus, you must not really like this. You must not really like video games. You must not really like comic books. You must not really like, science fiction. You're a faker. You just want guys to like you. If you make guys think that you like comic books and geeky things, well then guys are gonna like you and they're gonna think you're cool. Seriously?
Yes, seriously. When I was a kid and a teenager, I would routinely play at small-scale Magic the Gathering tournaments. Not fucking once did someone ever say, gee, I wish there were more women around. You want to know why? Because narcissistic little fish will come along and complain about fucking everything, sucking the fun right out of it. It isn't about you. It's about the fucking hobby. If you don't want to be part of it, that's fine, Fish. Just fuck off to another hobby.
Seriously? If you really think that I spend a majority of my day plotting whether or not I can get a guy and how I can get a guy and, ooh, yes, excellent. I have this wonderful plan that I'm going to lie to him about liking the Mass Effect series and he's going to fall totally in love with me and be smitten by me. Seriously?
Some women do that, and others just want it to be about them and their fucking feelings. Every single swinging dick that has ever went to a Comic-Con or tournament where women invade en masse has seen these women. They command attention, and when the guys are like, hey, we want to talk about the fucking hobby, narcissistic little fish will go on a hissy fit about being quizzed. We want to talk about the fucking hobby, not your vagina.
Do you really think our minds work that way? Do you really think that most people you encounter are that fucking manipulative? Because you're crazy. You're crazy.
Sargon's Law. Whenever an ideologue makes a character judgment about someone they are debating with, that character judgment is true about themselves.
No one is that manipulative. I mean, there's the occasional rotten egg, I'm sure, but out of most normal people, come on. So, I don't know if you girls have ever experienced this before, but it's something that just really, honestly, offends me. Because I think it perpetuates stereotypes of, you know, what's masculine, what's feminine, what's allowed for girls, what's allowed for boys. And I just think it's bullshit.
Fuck you! This isn't about fucking gender. This is about people who are fans and people who are not fans. There is a literal catalog of women who are gamers. They have no problems thriving in the competitive nature of gaming. And they don't go on fucking tirades about how other gamers make them feel. Motherfucker! Gender stereotypes, you fucking idiot! This entire time you've done nothing, fucking nothing, but talk about your fucking vagina.
I don't need to prove what I like to you. I like what I like. I'm not looking to gain your respect or your approval. You know, don't treat me like I'm a child, because honestly, that's how I feel like I'm being treated.
Because you are whining like a petulant child.
Like, I'm so stupid, and I'm not the authority on this subject, so I can't possibly be making, you know, a well-informed opinion about it. I'm just dumb, and I don't know what I'm talking about. And I honestly think it's absolutely offensive. So if you're a guy who likes, you know, many things in geek culture, have you ever treated a girl this way?
Indeed I have. I do not cater women who do not know what the fuck they are talking about. I have no problem, none, whatsoever, if a woman comes into gaming, or fucking Magic the Gathering, or whatever, and wants to talk about the fucking hobby. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But if they come in and they want to shit the place up about how they feel, or, yeah, I'm not getting enough attention, or any other kind of bullshit that you're fucking doing right now, I tell them to fuck off.
Have you ever felt like because she hasn't watched every single episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that she can't possibly be a fucking Star Trek fan? Have you ever, you know, thought, well, you know, and I get this a lot when I talk about science fiction with people, because I am not like a hardcore science fiction fan.
So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games.
I like a lot of science fiction, and I'm a fan of some, but like I just mentioned Star Trek. I can't get into Star Trek to save my life. I'm not into it. I don't like it. It's too serious for me. Like, I like Doctor Who because Doctor Who is just... Doctor Who's ridiculous. Let's be real. People who take it seriously, are you kidding me? It's just absolutely ridiculous 99.9% of the time.
If you were half as much of a science fiction fan as you are a fan of your vagina, you'd be the go-to expert on all things science fiction.
But anyways, I like that. I like that it's campy. I like that it's funny. But I know, like, my ex, for instance, like, he used to, because I like, you know, I like Doctor Who, I love Mass Effect, you know, I like things like that. I think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is my favorite movie of all time, I think that's kind of science fiction. It's not heavy science fiction, it's not in space or anything, but it uses a science fiction element to power a story. You know, what if we could erase memories? That's a science fiction element. Anyways, my ex used to treat me constantly like I wasn't a true fan of things because I didn't like what he thought was good science fiction. He liked Star Wars, he liked Star Trek, and because I couldn't answer all his questions all the time, you know, these very minute, stupid details about stuff, like, who cares?
Who cares about details in a hobby? Well, Fish, I'll tell you who. Fucking fans do. Listen to PC gamers talk. They will go on forever about tiny details in GPUs that make one better than the other, and so on. No one throws their hands up and says, who cares? They are fucking fans. You are not.
You know, if I couldn't answer those questions perfectly, well, you're not a true fan. Oh, you don't like what I like. You're not a true fan. You know, oh, well, you think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is science fiction? Well, it doesn't go into space. Oh my god, are you kidding me? It doesn't have to. It has a science fiction element to it. I didn't say it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind in space. I didn't say that, you know? And I just constantly feel like a lot of guys particularly work to just suppress women.
Fuck you, 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 with hand grenades and razor blades, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Motherfucker. We are not out to suppress women. We are out to talk about our fucking hobbies. It is not about you. It is not about your vagina. It is not about you being a woman. It is about the fucking hobby. Motherfucker.
In like the dumbest of ways, like this, like, you know, you're not a true fan, you're not allowed to be included, you're dumb, you know, you're a girl, how could you possibly know about that? And it perpetuates lots of stereotypes, and quite frankly, it's very hurtful.
So fucking what? Maybe our hobby isn't for you, Fish. Maybe you should just fuck off to a hobby you do like and get enthusiastic about. Maybe you should just accept it for what it is, because an overwhelming majority of enthusiasts are happy with their fucking hobby being about their hobby and not your fucking vagina.
Like, whenever I've had boyfriends or friends make me feel this way, it just honestly makes me want to sever the relationship. Goodbye. But it just hurts your feelings. It's like, why can't I just be who I am? Why do I have to jump through hoops to gain your approval, jump through hoops to gain your respect? Like,
because if you want to talk to enthusiasts about their hobby, you should know what the fuck you are talking about. Hobbies are for people who are interested in the hobby, not for narcissistic fish that want everyone to change for them. It is not about you.
You should respect me because I'm a nice human being and I'm interesting to be around, not because I can name, you know.
No one is required to respect you for any fucking reason. If someone approaches me and claims to be a gamer but doesn't know Mega Man from their ass, I'm not going to respect them. I'm going to tell them to fuck off.
Every fucking fleet captain of Star Trek and who the actor is and when they were born and, you know, where they were when, I don't know, 9/11 happens. I don't know, like, just ridiculous stuff like that. You know, you should respect me because I'm a nice, polite, cool person.
No, you are a gender ideologue trying to force everyone to your point of view because you are a narcissistic little fish and you are out to suck the fun out of fucking everything.
Not because I have a bunch of useless knowledge in my brain about something that I could honestly care less about.
Then why are you in the hobby, Fish? I don't understand. God damn.
So, it just, for me, it's annoying. Have you guys experienced this? Do you guys feel like you're not included in some things because you're not a boy? Do you feel like boys kind of try to make you prove yourself, or they try to test you to see if you're a true fan or if you're just manipulating them to like you?
Go fuck yourself! We are here to talk about our hobby, and guess what, narcissistic little fish? You aren't invited. Fuck off. If you want to be invited, start talking about the fucking hobby.